And so, to the last of the quarterfinals and another chance for Leicester to dream. Theirs is a unique position in English football, the only league champions never to have won the FA Cup, with their history in this competition being a catalogue of heartache. 4 times in a 20-year spell they made it through to the semi-final, to the final, I beg your pardon, only to lose them all. And in more than half a century since, they barely made an impression. 2 trips to the semi-finals, the last of which was way back in 1982 under the auspices of Jock Wallace when they were beaten by Spurs. So today represents the chance for the Foxes to reach the last 4 for the first time in 39 years. The last time they won a cup tie at this stage was one of the more remarkable matches in their history, a 5-2 win over Shrewsbury in front of a multitude of goalkeepers. The legendary Mark Wallington started between the sticks but was injured back in the days when there was only one substitute. He laboured on, but he conceded twice because of his immobility and he couldn't continue. So striker Alan Young went in goal before he himself was injured and was replaced as keeper by winger Steve Linex. Before the Foxes chasing the game, the hobbling Young took the green jersey again and Linex went back outfield. He set up the go-ahead goal and Leicester ended up winning an extraordinary day. I don't think it will quite pan out like that today. But the Foxes are motivated by revenge. Manchester United denied them a place in the top 4 last season and they hope to deny them a place in the last 4 today. Fresh from their San Siro success, Solskjaer's men can record a 31st semi-final in this competition. No other club has ever done that. And they would also keep another iron in the fire as they try and avoid a 4th straight trophyless season. Well, this is how the teams line up. Kasper Schmeichel in goal, the man who's now played more games for Leicester than his dad did for Manchester United. Peter winning the FA Cup 3 times with Manchester United in his illustrious career. A back 3 of Fofana, Evans and Soyuncu, Albrighton and Ndidi, Tielemans and Castagna, and then Perez in behind Iheanacho, who scored 5 goals in his last 3 Premier League games, and Jamie Vardy, who's only scored once in his last 15 matches, but has netted an FA Cup quarter-final goal for Leicester in the past. On the bench, Fuchs, Thomas, Daly Campbell, Amati, Chowdhury, Mendy, Lesha-Baylor, Pratt and Ward. Manchester United have Henderson in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Teles, then Matic and Fred, Greenwood, Van der Beek and Pogba, and Martial up front. The Manchester United subs: Twanzebe, William Shaw, McTominay, James Fernandes, Cavani, Ahmad and David De Gea. Referees Andre Mariner, Stuart Atwell is the VAR, and the players pause to take the knee. It will be Manchester United that get us underway. Kicking from left to right, red shirts, white shorts, Leicester in all blue, and Vardy straight away putting the pressure on Victor Lindelof as the ball was laid back to the Swede, and Vardy was in his face, applying the press, and his long ball forward goes out of play. Picked up by Alex Telles over on the left-hand side for United, and he slices it out. A throw which will be taken by Leicester, who, as I say, are kicking from right to left. Alongside me, the former England international and former FA Cup finalist, Dean Ashton.
And the quarter-final stage is where really players can see and smell Wembley, and the importance of getting through is all that matters now. It really does. You know, early on in the competition, you maybe got players that will need to get into form or have minutes. Now, really, it's about getting through at however you play.
And Manchester United, bearing in mind that they're managing the workload of the players after the European commitments they had in the week, leaving the likes of Bruno Fernandes on the bench today. No Marcus Rashford because of injury. And they're just trying to hem Leicester inside their own half in these very early stages, still just in the first few seconds of the second minute. And Johnny Evans, the former Manchester United man, turns it forward towards halfway, but it's picked up by Wan-Bissaka, and then Matic, who's making the 500th appearance of his career today, turns in the midfield and plays in Pogba. Pogba trying to turn it forward. Fofana was off balance and steered it away, but it breaks nevertheless for Martial. Out from him to the left-hand side for Teles, making an early run forward. He recycles it and goes back for Martial again. Paul Pogba makes such an impression in the opening minutes after coming off the bench at half-time in Milan the other night with that brilliantly taken goal. Laid back now by Wan-Bissaka. Fred plays it forward. Wan-Bissaka's continued his run, but Jose Perez is back in defensive duty, and Soyuncu clears. but only as far as Matic. Manchester United with the majority of possession in the early stages and having it in good areas as well. But that will suit Leicester, who will be more than happy to try and soak it up, knowing that they have the propensity to be able to do damage to anybody on the counter-attack, Dean.
Yeah, but it's not a tired start, is it, from Manchester United? And I think I'm just trying to work out exactly where everybody is playing. I thought that it would be Matic and Fred, and then Pogba on the left with Van der Beek just in behind with Greenwood and Martial as well. But I just think possibly with how Greenwood and Martial have set up, almost like there's two up there, and then Donny van der Beek drifting and kind of playing wherever he likes, just behind them, and then three in midfield with Matic, Fred and Pogba.
Maguire's got it on a ground that he knows so well. A couple of seasons here where he really cemented his reputation as a top-class defender before his world record move for a defender from Leicester to Manchester United. And he's played it out towards the left-hand side here for Telles, who looked for the ball over the top. Martial wasn't expecting that, and it just ran through for Kasper Schmeichel. Schmeichel will pick it up and bowl it out for Johnny Evans, who takes a touch towards the edge of the D and then fires it forward long. Telles in strongly, a little bit too strongly for referee Marin's liking. He's bundled over Iheanacho on the halfway line. It's a free kick which will be taken by Leicester. 3.5 gone. It's Leicester 0, Manchester United 0.
And I like the way that Manchester United have set up in terms of you don't want that initial ball. I'm sure Jamie Vardy's offside, but he's down the left.
And he plays it inside the area, and Iheanacho comes to meet it. Telles was there and effected the block, and now the flag does go up, as you predicted, and it will be a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, I just felt he was slightly offside. I think he'd made the early run, the ball hadn't come from Castagna, and then he hadn't quite got himself back onside for the ball from Perez. But as I say every single time I come to the King Power, Jamie Vardy loves that left-hand channel. So hopefully the defenders know that.
Victor Lindelof is the player that's got to keep an eye on him. Just making the run between him and Wan-Bissaka. Play continues after that challenge on Tielemans in the midfield, which, as you would have judged from Dean's reaction, left a bit to be desired. Leicester pick it up again with Perez. Tielemans still yet to get back to his feet. Soinchu playing it forward now, indeed. He will hook it out of play so that treatment can be administered. Wasn't the best.
No, it wasn't. Martial it was who went in to the challenge with Tielemans, and I just felt he was a little bit late. If I'm honest, I'm not quite sure exactly of the contact, but it was as usual with a lot of these challenges, it's a bad touch, isn't it, from Martial, and then you try and chase it and win it back, and Tielemans just gets there, and the follow through just sort of breaks his studs down his ankle. But I don't think it's enough anyway for any sort of certainly not a red card.
Well, VAR Stuart Atwell, I'm sure, had a quick cursory glance at it, deemed that he wasn't making a lunge that was completely out of control. Didn't make significant contact on Tielemans in terms of the impact. Really, he was on the way down rather than
more of a glancing blow, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Rather than a real follow right through.
And play continued with Manchester United restoring possession to Leicester. Indeed, he had put it out of play, and Leicester have now lost it, and United have a throw. Matic picking it up in the midfield with a clever flick over Perez, finding Wan-Bissaka, who's 10 yards inside the Leicester half. Played forward from him. Fofana with some strong defending, a little bit of wrestling going on with Martial before the ball got there. Leicester can get it away. Tielemans is okay after that challenge from Martial, playing it out towards Marco Brighton. Well, Brighton with the opportunity to make headway into Manchester United territory. Went back for Tielemans, who hooked it on, but too far ahead of Iheanacho, and Henderson will be able to pick it up. Fred very quickly put under pressure as the ball was rolled out to him, and he had to dispense with it in the nick of time to get it away from Iosi Perez. 6 minutes gone. Leicester 0, Manchester United 0 in the Premier League today. 3-goal fight back from Arsenal with 3 down in barely half an hour at West Ham. Came back to draw 3-3. The hammers hitting the post late on through Michail Antonio. 2 of those Arsenal goals, own goals, and Chelsea are through in the Cup. Our first live game of the day, beating Sheffield United by 2-0. So Chelsea, Manchester City and Southampton, the teams in the quarterfinals. Which of these two will be joining them? Ball laid back by Maguire to Matic. And now out towards the Manchester United left, where Pogba will take a touch. His long sleeve shirt and just guided away from Tielemans. United not playing it at a great tempo in these early exchanges, but having the majority of possession. Wan-Bissaka playing it forward for Matic. Matic darting through the midfield. Down to Wan-Bissaka again, and now to Lindelof, and the Swede switching the direction of play, quickly playing it out to the Manchester United left for Tejes. And now coming in off the left-hand touchline is Pogba. Give and go with Martial. Pogba curling it down towards Wan-Bissaka. Another switch for Manchester United. From left to right very quickly. Wan-Bissaka rolling it down the line. Fred didn't read that. And Soyuncu was able to adjust his feet quickly enough as he almost stumbled and fell over the ball, but eventually could get it away for Castagna, who nicks it off Fred. Now to play for a Leicester City throw. 0-0 with 8 gone be.
Still trying to figure out Manchester United's formation. It feels a little bit like a diamond in midfield, albeit a fluid diamond, more a diamond that you get in the market rather than a proper proper one.
I'll take your word for that.
Jewelers. But do you know what I mean? It looks like a diamond with Matic at the base, and then Fred and McTominay either side with Donny van der Beek at the tip, and then Greenwood and Martial as two. But it's very, very fluid. They're not stuck in that structure anyway.
It's Soyuncu finding Castagna, who made such a good start to his Leicester City career. Had his injury problems. Back in the side at the moment. Leicester haven't really been in a position all season to have too much of a selection dilemma as to who to play at full-back or wing-backs, because at least one of them has been injured. 2 out at the moment, with James Justin out for the rest of the season, having ruptured his ACL, and Ricardo missing today because of a hamstring problem, which has prompted the recall for Marco Brighton on the right. Castagna, who can play either side, playing on the left today, and in possession again now. And just able to take it away from Wan-Bissaka. He almost gave Greenwood an opportunity near the edge of the penalty area as he played it back for Schmeichel. It was very nearly intercepted. But Leicester are able to maintain possession and will bring it away with Johnny Evans. Evans to Tielemans, given the instruction to turn, he obliged, he's played it over the top. Vardy's pace. He gave Lindelof a 5-yard head start, and Lindelof needed them all, but ultimately he just was able to shepherd the ball over the line and out of play for a goal kick before Vardy could wrap his foot around it. It's a good battle run.
Wasn't that nice to see? A proper shoulder barge that was allowed to go ahead. Both players went at it. It was evens, I would say. Neither needs to go to the gym. Little high five each. Lovely.
And play continued. Here's Tejes for Manchester United. Tielemans cutting out the ball intended for Martial. Good touch from Yuri Tielemans, who at the age of just 23 is making the 350th appearance of his career today, which is some miles on the clock. Ball worked down the line by Castagna. Fred with a conservative but sensible ball back in field for Lindelof, and he shows for the return and gets it. Van der Beek, the blonde-haired, round-shouldered Dutchman, just working it back for Matic. Wan-Bissaka on the stretch finds Greenwood, and Soyuncu was very quickly on his toes, right out by the touchline to flick it out of play for a throw that Wan-Bissaka will take in front of Brendan Rodgers, who's celebrating his 100th game in charge of Leicester today. He's won more than half of them and lost barely 1 in 4. It's a very impressive record, but hoping to be able to provide some tangible reward this season for the success and the improvement that he's masterminded in his 2 years at the club. Here's Iheanacho. He can't find a way through, blocked off by Matic. Pogba mops up, goes back to his goalkeeper. Henderson takes a touch and then languidly but expertly chips it out towards the touchline for Wan-Bissaka, who controls it. Works it in field for Fred to Van der Beek, and back forward again for Wan-Bissaka. Manchester United still dominating possession. 11 minutes gone and neither goalkeeper has been called into action so far. Pogba flicking it on round the corner. He stayed down for a moment. Martial is able to pick it up through the legs of Ndidi. Van der Beek goes back for Matic. Wan-Bissaka occupying space on the right. They got it past Iosi Perez to find him, and now Wan-Bissaka can run at Castagna, flicks it in field towards Martial. He gets past Castagna easily, gets towards the byline, and Soyuncu comes across, stops him getting any further. Manchester United have the first corner of the afternoon at 0-0.
I have to say, great bit of play all the way from Henderson, like you said, chipping it over the top for Wan-Bissaka. They played all the way through midfield with a delightful Paul Pogba flick in that move. eventually ending up with Martial just on that right-hand channel, looking to nutmeg Soyuncu, and he made sure that he kept his legs together.
Just flicked it into the hoardings, the blue hoardings as they are at the moment, behind that the goal that Kasper Schmeichel is defending. And Tej spots the ball down and takes 3, 4, 5 very deliberate steps back towards those hoardings, addresses the ball, left-footed, swings it in, plenty of whip on it, Maguire heading it back, but his former teammate Schmeichel can make a very comfortable save and just trots towards the edge of the penalty area. Such is his range of passing that when he does decide to unleash, it's an excellent ball out towards Kelechi Iheanacho over on the Leicester right, and he's won a throw. Iheanacho scored that hat-trick against Sheffield United last weekend. Once scored the winner at Old Trafford in a Manchester derby, so knows what it's all about against Manchester United. Back from Tielemans, finding Johnny Evans, who made nearly 200 appearances for United in his days at Old Trafford. Worked forward towards Jose Perez now. Perez shown inside by Lindelof. Ball chipped forward is dealt with. Matic can poke it further away. Now Martial will try and break forward quickly. Indeed, he couldn't quite stop him, but he was able to flick it away from Van der Beek. Soyuncu then showed a little bit too much to it. Van der Beek who won it back. Soyuncu rectified his own error almost immediately. And Leicester eventually can calm things down at the back. And we'll be able to slow it down to walking pace with Johnny Evans. We played 13 minutes. It's an intriguing contest at the moment with Manchester United dominating possession, but there's plenty of shadow boxing going on at the moment, Dean.
There is, yeah. I think Martial started brightly. Lovely bit of centre-forward play there. It was fizzed into his feet just on the half-turn, just peeled away with a good bit of strength away from Fofana. And great ball, it's nearly from Soyuncu, looking to pierce one right through the centre of Manchester United's defence. Maguire just struggling to get there, but Henderson mopping up at the back.
Yeah, it was Iheanacho that had made the run, starting on the shoulder of Maguire. He's certainly got a pace advantage against him. Fred doing well to work it through the midfield. He'd been fouled. The referee, Andre Mariner, played the advantage, but it was a poor pass from Fred. Couldn't find Martial. And Leicester were able to mop up comfortably again. Possession up to this point 62% in Manchester United's favour. As it goes out towards Mark Albrighton, 4 from him to Iheanacho. Tielemans with a layoff back for Johnny Evans. Evans works it wide for Castagna. He's overhit it, and it goes out of play for a throw which will be taken on the Manchester United right. So 14 minutes in, these two play for the right to meet either Southampton, Manchester City or Chelsea. And by the time the second half starts, they will know their fate. They will know exactly what they're playing for. The draw will be made 10 minutes into the half-time interval. And, of course, we'll have news of it here on TalkSport as it happens. Wan-Bissaka playing it forward through the midfield towards Greenwood. Jim Proudfoot and Dean Ashton talking through the action in the East Midlands under steel grey skies today. Mark Saggers in the chair and Jason Bourne, our in-stadium producer, with Wan-Bissaka in possession now for United. He takes it down very neatly on his chest. Cuts away from Jose Perez. Play forward through the midfield by Fred. Pogba has it now inside the centre circle. Back from Matic, who can see everything ahead of him and rolls it into the path of Tej. Coming in off the left flank, Van der Beek able to turn, but in doing so played a hasty ball that was easily cut out by Evans. And Leicester are going to be able to bring it away again. Bring it away and almost give it away, but Iheanacho, such as his burgeoning form, able to turn neatly away from Fred, and he almost slipped it in. Couldn't quite get the angle right for Vardy's run, who that time had isolated himself against Lindelof. And you can see, although it hasn't come off yet, there are plenty of signs of promise in that passing move. Manchester United know exactly what to expect with the way that Leicester address their attacks, playing it from deeper positions, in for the run down the challenge of either Vardy or Iheanacho, but there have been signs that they might not be able to deal with it.
You cannot switch off. Just when you think you can maybe relax with a bit of Manchester United possession, just giving it away. This is where they need to pounce, Leicester.
Yeah, it was Fred that gave it away. Iheanacho winning it back. Perez driving forward. Now Vardy, tight angle, left-hand side of the area, working it in. Lindelof with the clearance, and then Henderson with the save as it came back out for Vardy, and he drove it in right-footed. And that was a fine stop from Henderson, because he had to make sure in making the save, he didn't just present it to Iheanacho, who was there waiting to pounce.
Yeah, perfect example. If you give the ball away to Leicester in those positions, high up the pitch, then their movement's good, they're quick in the way that they pounce on the ball and throw blue shirts forward. Jamie Vardy was down. That's favoured left side, as he always likes to get into when the ball rebounded to him. He just didn't quite get the height on the shot, and Henderson could parry into Matic's feet to clear.
Fofana into the feet of Tielemans. Leicester again just playing it around at the back, but this time in Manchester United territory as they do so. Back he goes for Johnny Evans. Evans clipping it, left-footed 40, and Nacho beaten in the air by Maguire, as you would anticipate. And cleared again by the Manchester United players, but only as far as Fofana. Fofana to Evans, now Soinchu. He was in the PFA Team of the Year last year, but another that has suffered with injuries this time around. His ball forward hit Wan-Bissaka and almost broke for Greenwood. It ends up going out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Manchester United right. And they're in the quarter-finals, United, for a 7th successive season, which is a record. They've won 3 and lost 3 of those quarter-finals in the last 6 years. Always going through in the even-numbered years, going out in the odd-numbered years. Here's Vardy making his way forward now. Maguire able to effect the block. Again, possession turnover very easily in the midfield. And United can bring it forward with Van der Beek. Van der Beek out towards Martial. Just took him a little bit wider than he wanted to go, but Martial able to control it and run it for Fofana, who sticks out a left foot and steers it out for a throw that will be taken by Manchester United on the left.
Yeah, it was another mistake from Fred, giving the ball away in midfield, and once Jamie Vardy got into that position, he was trying to use Harry Maguire as a shield for Henderson, looking to just bend that again, that left-hand channel of the area, looking to bend it into that far corner just around Harry Maguire's legs. Harry Maguire made sure that he made his body big, and it clipped off his calf and away. Good defending.
He's in just about the worst goal-scoring form of his Leicester City career, Jamie Vardy. 1 in his last 15 matches, which came against Liverpool. Only 3 Premier League goals at home all season, but 9 away, where he's still batting and not too far short of a goal every game. Matic has the ball and works it back through the midfield for Victor Lindelof. Lindelof into the feet of Fred. We're 19 minutes in, and it's still 0-0. Pogba able to pick it up just in Leicester territory, predominantly over towards the left-hand side of the midfield in this diamond that Dean was describing.
Well, it's an intriguing tactical battle, to be honest, because of that diamond. It means that they can be quite narrow, Manchester United, which means Albrighton and Castagna are pretty free, and Leicester have got to work hard, move the ball nice and quickly to try and get it out to them, where they can then look to build from wide areas. But they're also obviously both, especially obviously Albrighton, wanting to do his defensive duties. If Pogba or if Fred just goes slightly wide, they want to do that defensive work, and then they start to come in a bit narrow and miss out on that opportunity to get wide.
Fred plays it wide for Tejes, who will bring it forward now for Manchester United before stopping the ball under pressure from Albrighton, turning it back inside his own half for Maguire. An afternoon where shots have very much been at a premium inside the opening 20 minutes. Excitement really coming from the unfolding of this intriguing tactical battle. I think both sides will have seen a potential chinks in the armoury as far as the opposition are concerned that they believe that they can exploit. Finished 2-2 when the sides met here back on Boxing Day. Manchester United led twice, but couldn't hold on. Axel Tuanzebe putting through his own net 5 minutes from time to give Leicester a share of the spoils. Play stops now because of a challenge from Tejes on Albrighton, which has left the Brummie just sitting on the turf, feeling the back of his head, and it's kind of ran into Tejes, who deliberately stopped, and the contact then was inevitable. But he's okay, Mark Albrighton's back on his feet, and play will be able to continue with a Leicester free kick on halfway. 0-0.
Yeah, it took a whack from Tejes on the back of the head, Mark Albrighton. But you're right there, Manchester United certainly haven't created anything of note as yet. A couple of half chances, you would say, for Vardy. It is very much a tactical battle at the moment, and who's going to break first and then maybe have to change.
Matic forward towards Paul Pogba. Pogba almost showing too much of that to Tielemans. who then came back with the aid of Iheanacho to be able to rescue it. The loose ball breaks off a Manchester United player, goes straight out of play for a Leicester throw, which Brighton's in a hurry to take, and he's got past Tellez, and he gets towards the right hand side of the area, drives it in, and it's deflected away for Leicester City's first corner off Maguire.
Yeah, good quick thinking from Mark O'Brien. Take the throw in very quickly to Iheanacho, get the ball back. Tellez, I don't know why he went sliding in. He was never going to get it. He just needed to make sure that he followed Albrighton into that left back position. He's always, what I like about Mark O'Brien, he's always got his head up. He's never just got his head down looking to just aimlessly play it in. He's always got his head up looking for Jamie Vardy's run.
Well, Leicester have got Vardy inside the 6-yard box. Iheanacho are coming outside the penalty area to show for the short one. Fofana stands by the penalty spot, and the other two centre-halves not too far behind him, both make differing runs. It is worked short and then curved in. Decent delivery as well from Iheanacho, but Lindelof headed it away. Just didn't quite have the height that it needed. Leicester mop up at the back, and Tielemans finds Castagna, who goes all the way back for Schmeichel, and he's well outside his penalty areas. He then drives it for Soyuncu, who's still forward. Excellent pass from the back. Soyuncu to Evans, back for Soyuncu again. Vardy down by the left-hand corner flag. 23 gone at 0-0 on TalkSport, as Soyuncu brings it back through the midfield and finds Wilfred Ndidi. Fofana shows for him, but it's made one further stop down the line out to the touchline for Albrighton. Back for Fofana again. Now to Johnny Evans, controlling it inside his own half of the centre circle before venturing back into Manchester United territory and finding Soyuncu with a white sweatband around his left wrist. The begloved Vardy comes back, and the pressure from Greenwood, he finds Soyuncu. The Turkish international to Ndidi, out of Fofana. Good spell of possession this from Leicester. Perez to Iheanacho. Iheanacho works it back for Perez, made the run, but still very little chance of being able to get there. And plenty of traffic to navigate through, and Dean Henderson could slide out of his 6-yard box to make the save. It's 0-0 with 24 gone.
Well, with this narrow system that Manchester United are playing, that is where they're going to get joy. If they can switch the ball really quickly, and then maybe have to switch it again, and then when they're not able to get into shape, that's a poor ball,
and he's going to be put into the net by Iheanacho. Leicester City lead by goal to 0, and Manchester United have gifted them the opportunity. Fred looks to the heavens and rubs a frustrated hand through his hair. He can't believe the error that he's just made. He turns to his opponents and apologises to his teammates. But what an epic error that has given Kelechi Iheanacho the opportunity just to stride through and put Leicester into the lead. It was Maguire's ball into Fred. Fred played it back to his goalkeeper. Stood no chance of getting there because he underhit it, and Iheanacho had the chance just to run past him and walk it round Henderson and in. And it's a former Manchester City player that strikes, and Leicester, who are hoping for their first FA Cup semi-final since 1982, lead in the quarters by a goal to 0.
Well, Fred can look wherever he wants. This is just an awful mistake from the Brazilian. I mean, he's trying to have a go at Harry Maguire for playing that ball into him when he's under pressure. Well, that's the way that you play nowadays. You've got to be able to cope with that ball under pressure, and he didn't. Look to play it back to Henderson, not enough on it, and Kelechi Iheanacho, with the form that he's in, just jinked his way, danced his way around Henderson and tapped it in. What a massive mistake that is.
15 starts this season for Kelechi Iheanacho. He scored 11 goals, and having netted a very late winner against Brighton in the 5th round, he's now scored a goal on 25 minutes in the 6th round against Manchester United. But it wouldn't be Manchester United away from home in a domestic match if they didn't make things difficult for themselves. They've got such a good record at coming from behind. You'll be aware that in 9 of the away games that they've won in the Premier League this season, in those 9 games, they've trailed in 7 of them and come back to win. So they, more than any other team you would think still left in this competition, would back themselves at being able to turn things around from being a goal down, but they're doing it the hard way again. Maguire playing it back to Henderson. It's only the 2nd goal that he's conceded in his last 9 Manchester United appearances, but absolutely nothing that he could do about it. Fred, bring it forward, finds Van der Beek, back for Fred. Coming back is Iheanacho. And who's got the last touch there? It is the goal scorer. And he goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Manchester United right. Leicester 1, Manchester United 0. Kelechi Iheanacho on 25 minutes here on TalkSport.
Yeah, you can just see a big round of applause from all of the Leicester staff there as Iheanacho chases back, does that hard work that he'll be asked to do, because Jamie Vardy will stay up high. He'll be asked to come back in and try and win the ball back off the midfield. He did a good job there. And you do that when you're confident all of a sudden.
Maguire finds Pogba, ball in from the left-hand side towards Greenwood. And half clear by the Leicester back line, but only out to Wan-Bissaka, edge of the penalty area. Rolled into the path of Greenwood inside the box. Greenwood turns it back for Fred. Fred, left-footed ball, clips inside the penalty area into a dangerous area. And Schmeichel not taking any chances after an awkward bounce. Gets the right hand and beats it away. It probably was going wide, but he wasn't to know, and just helps it on its way past for a corner.
Well, he couldn't be quite sure if Martial was going to get a touch, and that's why these sorts of crosses are so dangerous for goalkeepers. And Fred, absolutely delicious ball in between defence and goalkeeper, and Kasper Schmeichel, he has to wait. He has to wait to see if Martial's going to get a touch, and when it doesn't, it then skids off the surface. He lunges to his right and flicks it round the post.
This is Manchester United's second corner. It's a left-footed away swinger in towards Maguire, who got there, but only off the side of his head, really, and out of play for a goal kick that will be taken by Leicester, who lead by a goal to nil as they look for their first FA Cup semi-final in 39 years.
He's their biggest threat, Harry Maguire, from set plays, but he's got to work harder at getting away from his opponent. The amount of times I see him challenging from a corner where he's wrestling with somebody, or he's trying to jump over the top of somebody, he's got to work at that, get himself free in the box, because if he's free, I think he'll score a lot more goals from set plays. At the moment, it seems like he's constantly fighting whenever that ball's coming across.
Lindelof's cross-field ball left a bit to be desired. It put real pressure on Telles, whose first touch wasn't the best. All Brighton's presence made life difficult. Leicester looking to break very quickly and double their lead. Just couldn't get too far. Fofana had made a good 30-40 yards into United territory, but then was forced to check and plays it back. Sointu now for Castagna. Castagna coming in off the left-hand side, works into the feet of Ayoze Perez. Back from him to Wilfred Ndidi. Ndidi sending it cross field to Fofana again. Now to Mark Albrighton. Tielemans, Fofana to Evans. Sointu to his left, and one of these Leicester players getting in touch with the ball in this move. The latest one, Ayoze Perez, who picks it up. Vardy trying to turn it around the corner for Castagna's run. Wan-Bissaka stabs it away, and Matic in his yellow boots picks it up, takes a touch, and then looks long for Greenwood. And Johnny Evans is going to get there first, and then will be able to lay it back to his goalkeeper to prevent the corner. Schmeichel not taking any chances, just chips it out of harm's way towards the touchline, and indeed he was there first to mop up. Evans then looks long, only finds Maguire. Two centre-halves who both play for both of these teams. Pogba almost able to nutmeg Fofana and find Martial. Leicester get it away. Good ball out from Albrighton now towards Iheanacho. Iheanacho faced up by Maguire, who's fouled him, and it's just outside the penalty area, but only just, and that'll be a yellow card for Harry Maguire.
Yeah, he's just got to try and engage a little bit quicker. The minute he allows Kelechi Iheanacho just to turn and face him, he's going to struggle. He's going to struggle because he'll be better than him in terms of jinking away, and as he just goes and sticks that cobra-like foot in to try and win the ball, Iheanacho just skips out of the way and wins the free kick, and it's lucky that it's just outside the area.
Yeah, it's a close run thing. It's level with the edge of the box, and it's probably a yard to the right of the penalty area. So Henderson's asked for two in the wall. It's Greenwood and Van der Beek. 7 of the other 8 outfield players stand in a line about 10-11 yards out from goal.
The pull back to Tielemans on the edge of the box looks favourable.
Yeah, he's just stood in space on the edge of the D. Here it comes, Tejas Reddick. Tielemans, though, still got the shot in. It breaks off a Manchester United player. The counter-attack for a moment was on. Might still be if Van der Beek can launch it upfield quickly. He's ended up turning down a cul-de-sac. Eventually he does get it away, but straight to Tielemans. His ball forward. Maguire is there. And on the left-hand touchline, Manchester United will be able to just chip the ball into space. Wan-Bissaka brings it under control and now can work it forward. And a little bit of breaking news in terms of England, incidentally. Remember, the 3 England World Cup qualifiers that are coming up are all live on Talk Sport over the next 10 days or so. But England have just announced that following the latest COVID risk update from German authorities, Jude Bellingham has been given permission to join up with the 3 Lions squad tomorrow. So Jude Bellingham with the opportunity to add to the solitary caps that he's picked up so far in the games that are coming up. It's San Marino, Albania and Poland, the 3 ball that England face. This one, 13 minutes to go to half-time. Leicester 1, Manchester United 0 is the score. Jim Bradford and Dean Ashton at the King Power Stadium. Soinchu playing it back towards Johnny Evans, and Evans controlling it, goes back for Schmeichel. And Schmeichel just gets it clear away from Greenwood again to find Charles Soinchu on the left of the 3 centre halves. Now back for Evans. Evans slowing things down, taking a touch, working it back. He was sent off when these 2 sides met here at the end of last season. A Manchester United win that cemented their Champions League place at the expense of Leicester. Here's Soinchu. They're ahead of Pogba, who United haven't been able to get into the game really. And the Turkish international brings it forward. By and large, Manchester United have had the majority of possession, but Leicester have looked the more dangerous when they've had it. And it's played forward towards Tielemans. Tielemans now inside his own half for Soinchu. And now he will venture forward over halfway. Vardy bringing Lindelof, just dragging him out of position. He couldn't really make the most of the opportunity and the potential, the space in behind for Perez's run, because Leicester couldn't keep possession. But they do get it back. Be a throw inside their own half. 12 minutes to go to half-time, and Leicester increasingly good value for a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, starting to dominate, and I think they figured out that with this narrow Manchester United formation that they can get joy either with one of the wide centre-backs coming forward as Soinchu is there, or being able to switch it quickly to Castagna and then into midfield, that Manchester United aren't able to shuffle across quick enough. I just wonder whether Ollie would be thinking about a formation change. I think you could put Pogba on the left, Donny van der Beek in behind Martial, and Greenwood on the right hand side, and then you've got the opportunity to then get a 2v1 against Leicester's fullback as they give the ball away. Manchester United,
and it was Lindelof this time, and he's almost threading through towards Vardy inside the penalty area. Wan-Bissaka did really well, but that was after Victor Lindelof brought it forward, and his bravery got the better of him and caught in possession. Leicester so devastatingly quick in those turnovers of possession, and that's exactly the type of error that they're trying to force Manchester United into.
Yeah, you're right. I think the work ethic's brilliant from Leicester's players, like you say, trying to win that ball back, especially now there's a bit of nervousness, but go gadget leg. Wan-Bissaka was brilliant there, spotted that, and the timing of the way he slides into every challenge or interception, that isn't just luck.
Now you're showing your age. Citing Inspector Gadget. Sags is looking at you mystified. The ball is back with Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans out to the right for Fofana. Paul Pogba's done well and has hurt himself, and that could be a bad one. The way that he's gone down there, just played it full past Fofana and immediately went to ground, holding the bottom of his right leg and punching the ground in distress. And now removes his right boot so that he can self-administer a medical prognosis here. Just hopefully from a United point of view, it's just an impact injury, and that he's just been caught on the top of the foot, and it's nothing more serious than that.
Yeah, exactly. Just basically the foot, Fofana's foot has landed directly on Pogba's foot and ankle. Very painful, but he'll be fine.
Well, he's back on his feet. Paul Pogba, man who only came back the second half of the game on Thursday night, having picked up the thigh injury against Everton back in the first week of February. So 6 weeks out of the team. Scoring the goal that got Manchester United through to their Europa League quarter-finals, where they'll be playing Granada, and we've got both legs of that tie, the Europa League quarter-finals, on the first 2 Thursdays in April here on Talk Sport. Another free kick given away. It's going to be taken by Leicester in the midfield. Possession now 50-50 after Manchester United's early dominance. Leicester the better side.
Completely lost any rhythm though, Manchester United, haven't they? Early on they looked like, the passing was crisp, it was incisive, it was sharp, the movement was good. Suddenly they've just lost that confidence, maybe from a couple of mistakes that have been made in the goal, and Leicester have really dominated since then.
Well, it's a performance that's not dissimilar to large swathes of the second leg that you and I saw on Thursday night against Milan in the San Siro, where Manchester United were a little bit listless and in need of inspiration. Certainly in the first 45 minutes they were poor, and they've not really hit the ground running today. After a decent opening 10, they've faded substantially. Perez chasing. Lindelof gets it back to his goalkeeper. Manchester United, remember, unbeaten in the last 29 domestic away games, which is a run that stretches back some 14 months now since Liverpool beat them in January last year. Only 2 defeats in 23 away games in all competitions this season. Those losses in Europe to Başakşehir and Leipzig, which proved so costly. Here's Pogba making his way forward now for Manchester United. Venturing forward again. Telles with the ball inside the area. Martial threw himself at it. The ball cleared. Lindelof then heads it back down. Wan-Bissaka just leaves Perez grasping for air as the quality of the turn deceived the Spaniard. Now play forward out towards Pogba on the left-hand side of the box. That's a nice turn to try and get past Fafana. He's hooked it in. Van der Beek lets it run, and Greenwood scores. That is an excellent equalising goal for Manchester United. Almost out of nothing, but there were so many nice moments within the build-up to it. Excellent balling, great awareness from Van der Beek, and a crisp finish from Mason Greenwood to tie it up at 1-1.
Excellent, wasn't it? First of all, you said Wan-Bissaka, lovely little shimmy to get away from the defender, then it's played across out to that left-hand side, and then when it's played into poor Pogba, sometimes, even against good defences, it's about a little bit of magic, it's about some quality from one particular player, and Pogba, just the way he, again, completely bamboozles Fafana with that shimmy, crosses it in, it's a bit of a bobbly cross, but Van der Beek, you're right, awareness absolutely fantastic, whether he's got a call or not, he just leaves it knowing that Greenwood's behind him. Greenwood, who hasn't been in great form whatsoever, but when he gets that sort of finish, you do fancy him, and he just coolly side-footed it into the net.
Well, his only goal in his last 26 games, Mason Greenwood, came against Liverpool in the Cup. Having struck in round 4, he's struck now in round 6, and we're all square again, 1-1, and once more back in a position that the most significant moment of the afternoon still lies ahead of us here on TalkSport. Wan-Bissaka controlling it on the right-hand touchline. Matic able to stride forward. He's got Fred in support. Matic has given it away now. It's happened so many times to the Manchester United backline and midfield. Perez seizing upon it. He's trying to take on Wan-Bissaka. Not committing himself, forcing Perez to make the decision. Back for Tielemans, good cross in, nice shape on that. Albrighton attacking it at the far post. Telles heads it away, but Albrighton will be able to pick up the seconds. He stumbles but still finds Iheanacho with the pass. Back from the Leicester goal scorer to Ndidi. He finds Johnny Evans. Leicester's lead lasted just 13 minutes. 1-1 the scoreline now here on TalkSport. And Castagna will chase a Perez flick inside the box. Wan-Bissaka under pressure has just been able to flick it off Castagna and out of play for a goal kick. Game on now, 5 to go to the break. It's Leicester 1, Manchester United 1.
Yeah, it's important, wasn't it? That goal, I think, for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's half-time talk. If they can get through at 1-1, I think he'll be delighted, to be honest, with the way that the second half of this first half has gone, with Leicester dominating. But again, it's about players that can change things. As that was definitely a foul on Matic in midfield, who nearly gave it away. But it's about players that, when the ball's played into them, they don't just think, I'm going to pass it backwards. Pogba there is already thinking, what can I do here to manipulate the situation into my favour and get myself the other side of Fafana and get the ball in. And like I said with Greenwood, when he does get into that position,
as Wan-Bissaka fires it in here, it's headed high up in the air by Evans rather than out. It might break for Fred, chesting it down on the edge of the box. Greenwood takes over, can't get a shot in, but he can set up Pogba, but he just skids it through and Schmeichel makes a comfortable save.
Yeah, when Greenwood gets into them positions and get them sort of chances, he doesn't look like missing them sort of chances. He doesn't look like he's just going to scuff it. You know, the way he finished that was brilliant. Great ball from Iheanacho.
Finding Vardy inside the penalty area, whose first touch took him wider than he wanted to go, but he can find Albrighton. Right-footed ball in from him. Lindelof not too sure who was where, just got the top of his head to it and flicks it out of play for a Leicester corner.
Well, a bit like Manchester United's defence, me and you can't relax, because just in one changeover of possession, Leicester can look for that ball so quickly. Iheanacho looking for Jamie Vardy, just needed to control that first pass. He didn't. It skidded under his foot and away, and the chance had gone.
Those are thoughts of former FA Cup finalist Dean Ashton, part of the West Ham side that went to penalties back in 2006. Corner to be taken on the Leicester left. And it's going to be Mark Albrighton that will swing it in. Andre Mariner telling him to get on with very congested 6-yard box. Leicester had got 3 or 4 in there. Tielemans back through a crowd as Van der Beek cleared the initial one, and then acrobatically Telles can hook it away. Out it goes towards the Leicester right for Iheanacho. Rides the first challenge. We can't beat the second. Martial playing it back and putting his teammates under pressure. Eventually they can get it away, and it was Fred who, after his error for the Leicester goal, will be the most relieved man in the East Midlands at the moment, with the equaliser having come, who can stab it into Leicester territory again. And Tielemans slows it down to walking pace, brings it forward. Finds Castagna, standing just in front of his manager, Brendan Rodgers, in his 100th game in charge, standing in his coat with his hands behind his back, probably quietly content with everything that he's seen, with the exception of the Greenwood equaliser. Matic stretching, indeed he beat him to it. Vardy with a flick ball forward. Well, the idea was right, but not quite the execution of the pass. And it beat Iheanacho. Maguire watched it back to his goalkeeper, Henderson. 2 to go to half-time. Castagna winning it back, such was the intensity of the press from Wan-Bissaka. Left-footed ball clipped in from him is too heavy. And to be chased after on the Leicester right by Albrighton, but he can't keep it in. Castagna waves an apologetic left hand in the direction of numbers 9 and 14, Vardy and Iheanacho. There's a better ball there, might have caused further problems for Manchester United. But we're 90 seconds from half-time. Andre Mariner just telling Alex Telles that he shouldn't venture too much further forward up that left-hand touchline before taking the throw. The throw is taken and possession turned over immediately. Perez inside the D. Right-footed effort! Oh, just wide. Well, maybe got a little bit of luck in the approach play, because it looked as though he tripped over the ball, but that took a defender the wrong way, and he adjusted so quickly and clipped it back onto his right foot and then curved one just wide of Henderson's left-hand post.
Yeah, it was brilliant from Albrighton. Just fed that ball over the top of the tackle of Fred, and you're right, Ayoze Perez just looks to chop that back and then tries to give Henderson the eyes, with looking as if he's going into the far post and then whipping it across into the near side, and Henderson simply a bystander and watched it just go past the post.
He scored his first goal in 12 games in that big win against Sheffield United last weekend. Sheffield United, if you're just joining us, out of the FA Cup today, beaten 2-0 at Chelsea. But it was only 1-0 for large swathes of that. The second Chelsea goal coming right at the end. The Premier League game that's taking place today, finishing 3-3 between West Ham and Arsenal, with Dean's old club blowing a 3-0 first half lead in that game. Closing seconds of the first half here in the East Midlands at the King Power. It's 1-1. Manchester United on the attack, but not for long, and Farner can bring it away for Leicester. High ball forward from him. There's a little cushion header from Lindelof back for Maguire. And Maguire, 10 yards outside his own penalty area, turns it forward for Wan-Bissaka, who, not for the first time, loses his footing. Recovered well as we go into 2 minutes of stoppage time and maintained possession. Laid it back for Lindelof. Lindelof out to the Manchester United left for Telles. And he just lets the ball come over halfway, and he too stumbles on the greasy surface as he fires it forward long. Castagna fields that. Plays it down for Jamie Vardy. Vardy pointing to Castagna where the ball was going to go, and it wasn't a bluff. He worked it down the left-hand touchline, but Castagna was second favourite to get there. Fred then maintains possession, guides it back for Matic under pressure from Vardy, and Nemanja Matic brings it forward, and then the pressure from Tielemans was such that he played a hasty pass and a misdirected one. Albrighton coming back, well won back by Telles, deputising for Shaw at left-back today. Now Fred's got it in the midfield. Plays it out to the Manchester United left, where it comes back for Paul Pogba. And Pogba just slowing things down again. 1-1 with Iheanacho on 25 and Greenwood on 38, equalising for Manchester United. Manchester United with such a good record in this particular fixture, beaten only once by Leicester in the last 25 meetings of the two in all competitions. A dramatic game that Leicester won 5-3 here back in 2014. Some comeback that day. Here's Lindelof. Goes back for Henderson. And Henderson taking a touch, just a steady ball forward over halfway. Martial comes with Evans to meet it, flicks it on. Van der Beek couldn't get to the seconds, and both sides playing for half-time really now as the ball is hooked out by Soyuncu for a throw that Manchester United will be in no hurry to take. Chance for the two teams to regroup in a moment. I think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might have a little bit of transforming to do. Also telling his players not to get caught in possession in dangerous areas, which has been a constant hallmark of the first half, which now comes to an end. Andre Mariner has overseen an entertaining first 45 minutes. Leicester taking the lead after an epic mistake from Fred, a back pass that was never going to get there. Iheanacho nipped in and scored his 6th goal in his last 4 games against Premier League opposition. But Mason Greenwood equalised 7 minutes before half-time at the end of the best Manchester United move of the game. And at the break, we're still locked together. Leicester 1, Manchester United 1. Well, thank you very much indeed. The Manchester United players, the first out for the second half in their red shirts and white shorts and socks. And Leicester in all royal blue, away to our left-hand side. No signs of any change in personnel at this juncture. Wilfred Ndidi, the last man out for Leicester. As Zach said, Scott McTominay did go through probably a slightly more stringent warm-up than everybody else over the half-time interval, but he isn't being introduced at this stage. Leicester, Schmeichel in goal, Fofana, Evans and Soyuncu, Albrighton and Ndidi, Tielemans and Castagna, Perez, Iheanacho and Vardy. Manchester United, as the second half gets underway, Henderson in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Tejas, Matic and Fred, and Pogba drifting in from the left, Van der Beek at 10, Greenwood on the right and Martial up front, and he's putting the immediate pressure on Wesley Fofana at the start of this second half. Finds Johnny Evans back for Fofana. So just to reiterate, the prize for the winners of this, an FA Cup semi-final against Southampton. Chelsea will play Manchester City in the other FA Cup semi-final. Those games will take place on the 3rd weekend of April. Here's Evans in possession for Leicester, working wide for Soyuncu, who just went down the left-hand touchline for Iosi Perez, hoping that it's just flicked it off Fred and it didn't hit him again. It didn't. And it will be a Leicester throw which will be taken over on the far touchline. What do you expect to see over the second half, Dean? And where do you expect the changes to be from the balance of play that we've seen in the first 45?
Well, the formation looks the same for Manchester United. It's kind of lopsided 4-3-3 with Paul Pogba as an inverted left-hand side attacker. I mean, I'm losing track, to be honest, with all these formations and false this and false that. I mean, at the end of the day, it's so much of it is about tempo as well, and Manchester United's tempo dropped towards the middle of that first half, and they need to get that back, get that intensity back, and if they have that intensity in their play, they've got quality players out there.
Well, the Manchester United formation has changed, certainly to start with, because Pogba, who was playing out on that far touchline in the first half, still is. Which means that he's gravitated from the left out towards the right. Van der Beek is more on the left of centre now than he was in that first period. Soyuncu's just made one excellent sortie forward from inside his own half into Manchester United territory, but the subsequent cross from the fullback wasn't quite good enough. It was easily saved by Henderson. Maguire has it now and has hit a very lofty ball out towards the far touchline. All Wan-Bissaka can do is catch it and take a mark. Out of play for a throw which will be taken by Leicester. He just didn't fancy working the ball back for Henderson there, not taking any chances, and fires a ball left at the edge of his own penalty area right across and out of play for a Leicester throw. In an advanced position over on their left. They work forward very intelligently. Indeed, making a good run in here. And Henderson again with safe hands at his near post. Across that, indeed, he didn't quite get the angle right on. And now Manchester United will be able to bring it out quickly. Van der Beek inside the centre circle, turning. Dutchman, the former Ajax man, working it out towards Paul Pogba in a slightly different role in the second half. Into the feet of Matic and straight back again. Now to Lindelof. Tejas in space to his left. He's played the easy pass instead to Maguire. He now does work it down for Alex Telles, the Brazilian international. Work back again towards Maguire. Lindelof under pressure from Vardy. Lindelof getting the ball at his feet seems to be the trigger for Leicester's press. Well, they do really hunt in packs after him, the Foxes. Vardy, Iheanacho both putting the pressure on there. All Lindelof could do was put it out of play for a Leicester throw. But it is interesting, the slight modification to Manchester United's approach in this second half, Dean.
Yeah, it is. And also just noticing there, just from the throw-in on the halfway line, Harry Maguire following Iheanacho all the way out of his position into midfield area with Iheanacho, who collected the ball, and Vardy left 1v1 against Lindelof, and Fred kind of questioning, well, that doesn't sit right.
Now Perez trying to take it away from Van der Beek, and lost possession and lost his balance. No foul. There's one there as Fred was called by Wilfred and Ndidi. That's a free kick which will be taken by United about 15 or 18 yards inside their own half. 1-1 the scoreline, and the crowd's looking increasingly menacing and rain-filled, but no sign of any precipitation yet here in the East Midlands. All square, 4 minutes into the second half. The West Ham and Arsenal drew 3-3. Chelsea beat Sheffield United 2-0 to make it through to the semi-finals, where they will play Manchester City, and the winners of this have Southampton. All cleared by Schmeichel away to our left. Blonde-haired Danish goalkeeper working it out to Timothy Castagne. Castagne making some ground, the Belgian down the left, the former Atalanta man, and winning a throw.
A little bit flat, isn't it? A little bit flat at the start of this second half. Neither team really has come out. It's that dawns on you as a side and as players. It's, quarter-final, you make a mistake and it could now be fatal and you could be out. So a little bit of caution maybe from both of the sides at the start of this second half.
Now the game will be played to a conclusion. If there's no further scoring or no breaking of the draw, at least in the next 40 minutes, we'll go to extra time and then penalties if necessary as well. Now Maguire just pausing for a moment, and Iheanacho is able to make the most of that and pick up possession, and Ndidi couldn't get the ball down quickly enough to get himself into a shooting position. The chips away for Castagne trying to take on Wan-Bissaka, so adept at defending one-on-ones, but Leicester still keeping, and Ndidi back in for Tielemans. Now Evans to Fofana bringing it forward, just couldn't quite get himself into a shooting position. 1-2 between him and Albrighton on the right-hand side of the penalty area. Work back into a deeper area for Tielemans. Evans to Soyuncu. Turkish international to Castagne, and straight back again. Leicester just retreating inside their own half for a moment. 1-1 the scoreline here on TalkSport with Jim Proudfoot and Dean Ashton talking through the action. Now Tielemans still going. Oh, what a goal from Yuri Tielemans, who went 15, 20, 25 yards towards the edge of the area, and then with a finish of poise and precision plays it in off the left-hand post. Leicester have regained the lead, and they're barely 35 minutes away from their first FA Cup semi-final in the thick end of 40 years.
This guy's a serious player, Tielemans. Flicks it around the corner past Matic. I said that he'd struggled in recent games with the pace of play. He just flicks it around the corner to Iheanacho, gets the return ball back, and nobody comes to him. So he just continues, gets himself set, and then rifled it across Dean Henderson into the far corner. Lindelof has to make a decision. Does he go with Vardy? Does he go out to Tielemans? He does neither. Tielemans, he can finish as well. Lovely strike, low, skidding off the surface and past Henderson.
Yuri Tielemans marking the 350th game of his career. One of the biggest goals that he's potentially ever scored. What it could mean. Leicester 2, Manchester United 1. And Van der Beek plays it forward for Mason Greenwood. United have it all to do again as they attempt to come from behind. That's really good defending from Soyuncu. Just giving a little shove in the back from Greenwood. He then back-heeled it into Greenwood, knowing exactly where he was, and out of play for a goal kick which will be taken away to our left-hand side. Leicester in no hurry to restart play now. Tielemans breathing heavily. What a moment that was for him. A player who's tended to score the majority of his goals away from home rather than here at the King Power, and that's one that he won't forget. Just given the licence to push forward, and just wonder whether Dean Henderson's actually taking a step the wrong way to start with, going the wrong way potentially as the shot came in, but it was expertly placed.
It was right inside the post. You know, if you can just picture the little netted squares, it was pretty much the first netted square in from the post from Tielemans. And the big issue for me was Matic. Literally, as it came into Tielemans, he just quickly whipped it round the corner and he was gone away from Matic. And then suddenly you're in onto your back four. Clever run from Vardy to drag Lindelof away, who had to make the decision and in the end made the wrong decision to go with Vardy. And Tielemans finished brilliantly.
Well, they won at Stoke, they won at Brentford, they beat Brighton here. The first 8 goals of this FA Cup run for Leicester, all coming from different players, but Iheanacho and Tielemans, who have scored in previous ties, and then on their score sheet today, 2-1, Leicester leading Manchester United. They're unbeaten in 14 games in all competitions. United only 2 defeats in the last 28 all told. And Fofana with the ball in his hands, just venturing forward before taking this throw. Into the feet of Mark Albrighton. Leicester have only got 2 men in the squad who've ever won an FA Cup quarter-final in the past, but will they all be able to add their name to that roll of honour in the next half hour or so? Johnny Evans and Kelechi Iheanacho, the only players who have ever won an FA Cup quarter-final. Iheanacho, the only man ever to have played in a semi-final in the past, in his Manchester City days. Leicester, remember, lost their last 5 quarter-finals, the last 3 of them all to Chelsea last season, 2 years before that, back in 2012 as well, and then beaten at Blackburn back in 2005, and famously you'll remember by a Roy Essendon goal against Wycombe Wanderers some 20 years ago now at Filbert Street. Here's Alex Telles making his way forward. Manchester United looking for a response. Side that have scored on average 2 goals a game away from home this season, needing a second one here to stay in the cup. 35 minutes for them to find it. No time to panic yet. Fred onto his left foot, finds Telles a yard in from the left-hand side, gets the cross in, which hits Albrighton, claims that it hit him on the arm, and the referee, having given himself just a little bit of thinking time, has agreed, and it's a free kick to Manchester United, almost level with the edge of the Leicester box, just a little bit of drift, and probably halfway between the left-hand touchline and the corner of the penalty area. In fact, by the time Telles has spotted the ball down, it is level with the edge of the box, and Maguire's made his way forward. Lindelof is in there as well. Fred stands on the edge of the D. Van der Beek emerges from the D in towards the near post area. Leicester, as you would expect, everybody back to defend this, but a big gap in front of Schmeichel. Telles bends it into that gap, and it's headed away by Soinchu. Got the angle right, made sure he didn't steer it into his own net, puts it out of play for a corner.
Can't ask for much more in terms of delivery from Telles. It was brilliant because it arced away from Schmeichel, who couldn't quite come to claim it. Soinchu with a free header actually to get it away. No Manchester United player on the move.
Still everybody in that penalty area. Telles fires the corner in, and Soinchu wins that one as well, and he breaks for Albrighton, and he's got the opportunity to try and bring it clear. Van der Beek did well, stuck out a right leg and stopped him, and then Greenwood is the beneficiary, and he rides the challenger for Fofana, and he's played it inside the 6-yard box where Leicester got the bodies back. It was Soinchu again, heavily involved. Cleared out for Telles. Oh, only just wide. We were right behind that, and he rifled it with full pace on his left boot, beautifully struck. And he was only about 6 inches away from scoring his first Manchester United goal.
Oh, he didn't even bother to look inside the area, did he? As soon as that ball came out to him, he got onto it really quickly, out of his feet, and then struck it so well. It was one of those where the ball didn't even move in the air. It just stuck in the same position as it wobbled through the air and just past the post. That would have looked glorious from our position.
Well, when the two sides met on Boxing Day, Manchester United led twice, were pegged back twice. Today, Leicester have led twice. United have pegged them back once, but need to do so again. They've only reached successive semi-finals once this century. Manchester United, that was back in 2004, 2005, and now Maguire has been beaten here. and it should be 3. How important a miss could that prove to be, as Jamie Vardy on the counter-attack, exactly the type of situation that he loves and relishes, and he's missed the target when he looked odds on to score.
Yeah, completely dragged it, didn't he? Completely dragged the opportunity. Manchester United, Greenwood getting dispossessed in midfield when trying to overplay, and then Iheanacho, great understanding between him and Vardy in the last few weeks, and just plays Vardy through. Maguire completely sells himself. Vardy nips it round the side of him, gets it the other side, in on goal. Just when you need that composure, when you need that bit of confidence for someone who's normally been so good and improved so much throughout his career, you could just tell in the stride before he struck it. The stride quickened up before he hit the ball, rather than just having that nice timed stride to then strike it, and dragged it past the near post.
13 goals in the first 15 games of his season, only 1 in the subsequent 15 for Jamie Vardy. Kind of situation that you expect him to be able to convert in his sleep. He's certainly got the power in it, but just not quite the direction. It was a close run thing, but the FA Cup quarterfinals can be settled by fine margins. And it's 2-1 rather than 3-1, as Leicester would have expected it to be when he was played in. We've played almost an hour. Soyuncu's got possession here on TalkSport. Leicester leading. Here's Tielemans. Forward over halfway. Under the feet of Iheanacho, and back for Tielemans again. The man who scored the decisive goal as things stand at the moment. Is it going to be Leicester against Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final on the weekend of 17th and 18th of April? We know it'll be Chelsea against Manchester City. Leicester in their third quarter-final in 4 seasons, but only their 6th in 39 years, and making a good fist of it. Evans to his left-hand side. Soyuncu. Play forward by Soyuncu, and then work down the line by Castagna. And good play again coming in off the touchline from Vardy. He's threaded it through towards Castagna, and a good block challenge. It came from Harry Maguire to knock it away. Perez picks up the pieces and then goes back towards Ndidi, and Ndidi with good vision, clipping one out towards Albright, and backpedals and controls it neatly on his instep. Right footed ball in, and coming to meet it across the near post. Now Jamie Vardy couldn't quite get the touch that he wanted. It'll be cleared again, and then ultimately end up in the hands of Henderson. But Leicester asking the pertinent questions as they look for the decisive 4th goal of the afternoon.
Yeah, it's that goal again, just giving them another boost, the whole side. Jamie Vardy, so alive. Everything about his game has been very, very good today, I have to say. It's just that end product, again, looking to play Castagna in, whereas I think probably a really confident Jamie Vardy, who took that inside of Lindelof, would then get a shot away from outside the box, looking to curl it into that far post, and he didn't. He just tried the more awkward ball through 3 or 4 Manchester United bodies to Castagna. But there'll be definitely changes. The substitutions who are warming up for Manchester United, Fernandes has been out there, McTominay, Shaw, Cavani, they're all warming up but looking at the bench, basically waiting for the call.
Yeah, the reshuffle has to be imminent, because Leicester are dominant at the moment, and Perez will be able to bring it forward now. Another opportunity, but he's fired it well over the bar from distance. Not quite the feeling for Dean Henderson that he's at the end of a coconut shy, but it's not too far away from it, because there is a regularity of the chances that Leicester are creating, who've been so superior in this second half. They lead by 2-1 here on TalkSport.
Yeah, it's starting to feel wave after wave of blue domination at the moment. Poor finish, I have to say, from Jose Perez. He had so much time to line that up.
And now Manchester United can bring it forward themselves, and Martial going down, and the Leicester players are absolutely adamant it was a dive. It was Johnny Evans that Andre Marriner thought made the contact and caught him. And it's going to be a free kick that will be taken by Manchester United about 13 yards outside the penalty area, just ahead of an imminent quadruple substitution.
Well, Johnny Evans didn't get booked for a start, which is unusual considering Martial was pretty much away on the counter-attack. It was probably a dive, as Johnny Evans said, from Martial, but definitely hips clashed as he just nutmegged Evans. Their hips clashed, and then Martial threw himself to the floor. But considering he's given the free kick, that should have been a yellow card.
Only player in the book so far, Harry Maguire. The cavalry stripped and ready for action. Cavani, Shaw, Fernandes, McTominay, all about to come on. It might change potentially if United score from this. 2-1 down. Telles firing the free kick in. That is a very poor delivery, overhit. We're trying to get the likes of Pogba to make runs around the back of the Leicester back line, but it bypassed everybody and goes out. So here they all come. Nemanja Matic is the first player who is going to make way, and officially it's Fernandes who comes on for him. McTominay for Pogba. Shaw and Cavani, the other two players that are coming on. Van der Beek makes way even before his number comes up, and Alex Telles off as well. So Telles, Matic, Van der Beek and Pogba off. And Shaw, Fernandes, McTominay and Cavani are the players that are coming on. Quadruple change for the 5 that Manchester United are entitled to. And a reminder that if it goes to extra time, a 6th change can be made. You can only make the changes in 3 separate points within the playing time. That's not a problem now that United have made a quadruple. It restarts and goes out of play for a throw which will be taken by Mark Albrighton. So Luke Shaw replacing Telles. It's a straight swap at left back. It's still Lindelof and Maguire at centre half and Wan-Bissaka at right back. McTominay's come on to anchor the midfield with Fred. Bruno playing at 10. Cavani through the middle. And then almost inside forwards, the positions they're in at the moment, Martial and Greenwood left and right. Martial has it, trying to get past the challenge of Ndidi, and he's worked it wide out towards the right-hand touchline for Greenwood, and McTominay makes one of those driving runs forward that have become his trademark. Right-footed ball clipped in from him. He's won a corner. Manchester United trying to turn the screw and get back into the game with 25 minutes to go at 2-1 Leicester.
I mean, it dramatically changes the look of the side. All of a sudden, it feels like there's more energy, more pace in the side. Fernandes will look to get on the ball a lot more than Van der Beek would. He's more getting into the box late. McTominay going to drive from midfield, unlike Matic.
In comes the corner. Maguire got his head to it, but only steered it outside the penalty area. Helped further clear by Albrighton. Picked up by Greenwood. Score the Manchester United goal. Intelligent ball forward from him. McTominay back out to the right. Fizzed in by Fernandes. Schmeichel makes the save at his near post and did so in time to stop a little deflection it took on the way through, being a significant one to give United another corner. Schmeichel bowls it out to the left-hand side. For the Leicester fans, the clock will be ticking down very slowly, but almost midway through the second half now. Perez finding Tielemans. Tielemans has got Albrighton in space to his right, but didn't have enough time to be able to play the pass. And Fred, who made the error for the first Leicester goal, did well there to come back and win it back. And now Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes scored the winner against Liverpool back in round 4, clipping it out to the Manchester United right. A different feel about the game immediately after the changes. Fred. Now Luke Shaw. His deliveries have been so good this season. High ball in from him, just too high for Greenwood. Cleared out for Wan-Bissaka. McTominay poking it forward straight away. Greenwood trying to get a shot in on the turn. Finds Wan-Bissaka. Played in. It hit Cavani. Then Soinchu goes out of play for a corner.
It's just incredible, isn't it, how it can change so quickly with 4 substitutions. The energy levels of this Manchester United team suddenly change. Obviously, Shaw's been magnificent. He's going to look to dominate this left-hand side. Fernandes just wants to get on the ball. Cavani, massive movement. Wow.
It's like somebody's turned on a light switch. In comes the corner. Maguire going up for it, half cleared. Here's Shaw on the edge of the area. Didn't sit up for him to get a shot in, but he's turned it with his right foot inside the box. McTominay with a header that was very loopy and easily saved by Schmeichel. But as Manchester United now continue to throw bodies forward in a bit to get themselves back into this game, they could at the same time be playing into Leicester's hands, such is their skill on the counter-attack.
Yeah, you can never switch off against this Leicester side, as Maguire and Lindelof are going to have good communication. They haven't particularly, they've been drawn out too many times. I just think with McTominay and Fred in that deeper lying midfield role, they've protected the 2 centre-backs a lot better than they have been already in this game, with Matic and Fred in there.
Night beginning to fall in the East Midlands, and the dark clouds getting increasing definition and looking increasingly menacing. Manchester United looking increasingly menacing for Leicester, as a free kick is given for a foul on Shaw. Mark Albrighton then played on for a moment and fired one towards goal, and has got a yellow card as a result of that. 68 on the clock, 22 minutes of normal time to go. Leicester 2, Manchester United 1. McTominay, shaven-headed Scotsman, playing it through the midfield. It broke back Fred's way, and now arced by him out towards Wan-Bissaka. Here's Bruno Fernandes, high up and under from him, and it's Cavani chasing it. Little cushion header back from Cavani, feeds Shaw towards the edge of the penalty area, away from Tielemans, finds Fred. Fred does well, plays it past Ayoze Perez, who's having little impact now. Back in towards Greenwood. Greenwood couldn't take the ball into his stride as he tried to get the better of Johnny Evans. Soinchu will be able to bring it away, using the full width of the pitch on the Leicester left, but his ball fall has been brilliantly brought down by Iheanacho, trying to play in Vardy, but Maguire gets there first and comes back and finds his goalkeeper. Henderson plays out from the back. It's all a little bit fractious, but the passes have been good enough to get themselves out of trouble, Manchester United. Martial, won back by Ndidi well, but the referee's blown his whistle again, and Martial's won a free kick. It's some cup tie now with 20 minutes to go. 2-1 Leicester.
This is a better game, isn't it? Both teams now snapping in at each other. Brilliant take from Iheanacho out the sky, and then looking for Jamie Vardy. Brilliant from Harry Maguire. Much better, much more aggression in the way that he got his body across Jamie Vardy and read the situation. This game's pumped.
Maguire has had so many training sessions in his career against Jamie Vardy. He knows the tricks, he knows exactly what's coming, but being able to deal with it can be something completely different. Fred has the ball now for Manchester United, who are mostly camped in Leicester territory. Fernandes, all the back header from Evans was a safe one in the end. Had to play it because Greenwood was making a run in behind him. Evans steered it away wide of the post, and had to play for a corner, which will be taken on the Manchester United left. It's the fourth of the second half, and Fernandes spots it down very purposefully. This is the Manchester United corner where they flood the 6-yard box again. They've got 5 red shirts in that 6-yard box. No room for Schmeichel. Really good defensive header from Ndidi. Fred will be there first, and will be able to watch it under pressure from Perez out for a throw, which he will leave for Wan-Bissaka. Takes it quickly. A real urgency about Manchester United, as you would expect, with 20 minutes to stay in the cup. 4 from Greenwood. Greenwood to McTominay. Back for Greenwood. 3 to hit in the centre. Really good challenge. Immaculately timed by Soinchu. Slides in and wins it back. Leicester get it forward again. But the chance that Vardy missed to make it 3-1 does feel like a very, very big moment. Ball play forward here by Albrighton, and Lindelof just holds his nerve, holds his ground as well. Just heads it back to Henderson. Leicester are going to bring Dennis Pratt on in a moment. The Belgian has been struggling with a hamstring problem, but back in the squad today. He'll be back on for the 20 minutes that remain, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was Pratt for Perez. Here's Tielemans. Forward now to Ayoze Perez, and McTominay just a little bit too strong and overzealous with the challenge. In fact, he's going to get a yellow card. Scott McTominay, the way that the referee pointed there, possibly didn't get it for that challenge, but for an earlier one. But he is also carded. 72 gone on TalkSport. Leicester 2, Manchester United 1, with these two sides playing for the right to meet Southampton in the semi-finals.
Just real urgency about absolutely everything now that Manchester United do. Throw-ins, free kicks, goal kick, everything's being moved as quickly as possible to try and ramp up the pressure on this Leicester side and be relentless in their urge to get the equaliser.
Well, the change is going to be made, and it is going to be Perez that will make way. Pratt on for him. And while the change is being made, let's get team news from the Premier League game in the Midlands. Aston Villa against Spurs. Is Nigel Pearson for TalkSport.
Still no Jack Grealish for Aston Villa. He misses out again. Martinez in goal. Cash, Konza, Mings and Target across the back. McGinn, Louise and Ramsey in the middle. Traore, Watkins and Trezeguet going forward. As far as Spurs are concerned, Davis, Bale, Sissoko and Dele Alli all dropped to the bench after Thursday night. Lo Celso is in the side, just back from 3 months out. Lloris in goal. Tanganga, Sanchez, Rodon and Reguilon across the back. Moore and Dembele, Højbjerg and Lo Celso in the middle, and Kane and Vinicius up top.
Well, thank you. We'll keep you updated through the Darren Bent show here on Talk Sport at the conclusion of this game. Darren will take your calls, 08717 223344, the number that gets you through to Talk Sport and to Darren in the boot room. Here's Bruno Fernandes making his way forward now. Manchester United 2-1 down, but in possession with Shaw. In possession and on the front foot. I think that's a double ricochet back off Brighton into Shaw. And indeed it is a goal kick that will be taken by Kasper Schmeichel, that's going to be having mixed feelings at the moment. Peter, 398 times a Manchester United player. Kasper hoping to get to the FA Cup semi-finals for the first time. His 415th game for Leicester City against the club that he grew up supporting for obvious reasons. Cleared now by Schmeichel Jr. over Shaw and had a play for a throw. I think back to the fantastic treble-winning season that Manchester United had in 98-99 and the very late penalty save in the FA Cup semi-final replay that Peter Schmeichel made. But denied Dennis Bergkamp, and the rest, as they say, is history. Played forward now by Mason Green. He's coming in off the right-hand touchline onto his left foot. Angles a high ball down towards Luke Shaw. 16 to go. Leicester 2, Manchester United 1. You with Talk Sport. Brought you all 4 FA Cup quarter-finals this weekend. Maguire firing one in from 35 yards. Maybe a little bit closer than that by the time he hit it, but it was of little consequence.
What's he doing? What is he doing? Centre back. You've just brought on Cavani, Fernandes. You got Martial, Greenwood. Why are you, Harry Maguire, having a shot from 40 yards out? Keep the pressure on. Don't allow Leicester now just to ease back and slow the game down. So frustrating.
So on balance, do you think that was a good decision or a bad decision? Here's McTominay. Play for Bruno Fernandes now for Manchester United, and just caught by Johnny Evans as he played the ball out to the left-hand side, and Evans goes in the book. Well, it's his 9th yellow of the season.
He didn't really make the challenge and tried to pull out, but the fact that he was skidding along the surface meant that he then eventually took out Fernandes once the ball had gone. A little bit unlucky.
Free kick which Fred has taken. Manchester United trying to apply the pressure. And for all the possession that they've had in the last 10-12 minutes since they made the quadruple change, which has changed the game and changed the flow of it, still haven't forced Schmeichel into a difficult save. Martial, Fred under pressure from Vardy. No shove. Tielemans has turned over possession, then so too immediately McTominay. And Fernandes drops that a little bit deeper but can pick it up and venture back into Leicester territory. Bruno Fernandes has scored 23 goals this season. Such an impact since his move from Portuguese football. He won the Portuguese Cup, 2 Portuguese League Cups in his time with Sporting. Here's Greenwood coming back to win it again for Manchester United and finding Fred, and the game is becoming increasingly stretched. Fred almost able to slip it through for Fernandes down the left. Should have come closer to finding him. Now Fofana, who intercepted that, can bring it forward. He finds Mark Albrighton. 76 gone. It's 2-1 to Leicester. And Didi into space out on the Leicester left-hand side for Castagna. And Castagna playing it down the outside left channel for Dennis Pratt. Pratt motioning to cross and then thinking better of it. Scott McTominay not committing himself, standing shoulder to shoulder with him, trying to nudge the ball away. And there will be a Leicester ball over on that far side. The Foxes getting closer, but Manchester United will feel they're still very much in it.
Yeah, total opposite to Thursday night for Manchester United, where they were the ones that were trying to slow the game down, win free kicks. Manchester United have got to, with being frantic and wanting to get that equaliser, you can't allow yourself just to give away little free kicks by niggling. You've still got to keep your composure and believe that you're going to get the chances.
Well, 3rd goal for Leicester here, and you would feel that it is just about all over. We've seen one fight back from 3-0 down in the Premier League today. Coming back from 3-1 down late in the game might be difficult for United. In comes the free kick, and he's headed in! 3-1 Leicester it is! It's Iheanacho at the far post as it was whipped in very deep, and he's headed it off the underside of the bar and in. Leicester 3, Manchester United 1, and now they will dare to dream, those Foxes, that the place in the last four is going to be theirs.
He is on fire at the moment, Iheanacho, and he doesn't have to do a lot. He doesn't really have to do a lot, if I'm honest. It doesn't matter if you bring on Fernandes. It doesn't matter if you bring on Cavani. McTominay falls completely to sleep at the far post. The ball is fantastic from Albrighton, as it always is, the delivery from his set plays. He fires it in. It's so hard for Dean Henderson to come for it. He thinks McTominay's going to head it, and Iheanacho just stands there at the back post thinking, well, if it comes through to me, I'll just nod it in. And he does, just taps the header in and celebrates like a man that knows they're into the semi-final.
Well, this is going to be one of the great FA Cup fight-backs if they can salvage it now. Manchester United 3-1 Leicester with 12 minutes to go. A day that could hardly have gone any better for them either, with the draw having been made. Everybody hoping to get Southampton. And Leicester, well, 11 minutes away just from their first FA Cup semi-final since 1982, but also from a semi-final against the one team in the competition that are very much the outsiders. Here's Maguire. Maguire bringing it forward. Manchester United with a need to show some real resolve and quality now. Bruno Fernandes bringing it forward, down their left, finding Shaw. Shaw turning inside, Fernandes flicking it back, hit Ndidi on the arm, free kick to United, but not in a shooting position. Much nearer halfway than the edge of the penalty area.
They won't give up. They'll still believe they can get back into it, but they'd need to create some chances pretty quickly.
Fofana able to venture forward. Is this going to be a first win in 14 matches for Leicester against Manchester United since that epic 5-3 when United led 2-0 and 3-1 and ended up losing by 5 goals to 3 back in 2014, and the Foxes haven't beaten them since. But as they say, revenge a dish best served cold, and when they need it, Leicester are now on the cusp in the final 10 minutes of regulation time. Leicester supporters, were they here, would be biting their fingernails, singing their side home. Iheanacho back for Evans. Evans on halfway, forward to Wilfred Ndidi, now to Fofana. Fofana in towards Ndidi again. Not turning it forward, but away behind Tielemans, out for a throw which will be taken on the Manchester United left.
I have to say, I've been so impressed still with the tempo of Leicester and the closing down, the work rate of Ndidi, Tielemans, Albrighton, Iheanacho, Vardy. So many of the players' work rate has been absolutely outstanding.
Wan-Bissaka playing it down the Manchester United right-hand side for Greenwood. United had that excellent spell of pressure. Good 12 or 14 minutes of pressure after the quadruple substitution was made. But just blown themselves out a little bit. Bruno Fernandes lost possession and was well rescued by Wan-Bissaka. Did really well to get back to his feet and not touch it with his hand in the process. Then nudges it away from Tielemans. He's still making his way forward. Turns and plays it out towards Fernandes. Fernandes forward to Greenwood. It was a tired and misdirected layoff from Mason Greenwood, looking for Wan-Bissaka outside him. And frequently Leicester are able to get themselves into positions where when they turn over possession, it's 2 against 2, pushing forward. Hamza Chowdhury is going to come on in a moment for the Foxes. That'll be another body behind the ball to soak up the United pressure. As the clock has ticked on to 82. 3-1 Leicester lead. Shaw, as he left his foot in there on Vardy. It was an attempt to win the ball back. There's no malice in the challenge, but he has caught him. And Vardy's going to come off here. And Chowdhury for Vardy tells you everything you need to know about the state of the game. What we have, we protect, is the mantra from Brendan Rodgers and Leicester now. They're nearly there. 39 years they've waited, and they're 8 minutes away.
Yeah, I think it's a sensible substitution with the amount of attacking players that Manchester United have got on the pitch. If you can now flood that central area, you'd fancy your chances if the ball goes wide of you, Evans, Soyuncu, Fofana coping with crosses. So flood that middle pitch, make sure Fernandes can't get on the half turn, and I think they'd be able to see this through.
Evans to Chowdhury, off Albrighton and then into Shaw, and out for a throw. Taken by Mark Albrighton down the line for Chowdhury. Chowdhury takes it down towards the penalty spot, but it's out for a goal kick that'll be taken by Harry Maguire. They've come from behind in a multitude of Premier League fixtures this season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men have taken 22 points in the league from losing positions, but they need something spectacular now. They've got 7 minutes plus stoppage time. They need 2 unanswered goals. They're going to be bringing Ahmad on in a minute. Ahmad, who made a major impact in the first leg against AC Milan in the Europa League last round. Here's Luke Shaw. Shaw taking it on. Shaw getting towards the byline, and good defending from Fofana, who came across, went shoulder to shoulder with him and just nudged him out of the way. It's a goal kick which will be taken by Leicester. 84 gone. Fred comes off. Ahmad on. 6 minutes of normal time remaining.
Well, this is going for it. I mean, will Fernandes drop deep, or just McTominay is the only midfield player? Probably Ahmad goes out to the right. Greenwood, Cavani up front. It's a bit of a mess, if I'm honest, but they're just going for it.
Lindelof has brought the ball down, finds McTominay.
But what it does is, as soon as they know that Vardy's gone and there's only Iheanacho up there, then they know they don't need that extra defensive body, which is why they've probably brought on another attacker. Why not?
Well, it's very much a back 5 now for Leicester. Cavani's playing through the middle for Manchester United. So too is Greenwood. Martial just off the left-hand side. Ahmad, who's in possession now, coming off the right. Leicester have nudged it away from him though. Tielemans. Iheanacho wanted the ball to be played early. Instead it's been worked into a wider position here for Albrighton. First time ball in from him. Iheanacho on a hat-trick, but denied the opportunity. Firstly by Maguire, and then ultimately by the offside flag as well. We go to the final 5 minutes. 2 for Kelechi Iheanacho, 1 for Yuri Tielemans. Mason Greenwood had got it back to 1-1 for Manchester United. But Leicester lead by 3 goals to 1. We're in the final 5 minutes. Scott McTominay's got possession. And the ball that just kisses the line of the centre circle on its way through. Cavani spinning, trying to play it round the back. Then Bruno Fernandes clipping it over the top. Martial will make the run. Across comes Johnny Evans, and with a real desire stops the ball going out of play for a corner in the nick of time. It's out instead for a throw. 2 balls on the pitch for a moment. The play's going to have to stop. In fact, Maguire has just tapped the spurious one off the extraneous one off the playing surface. McTominay's got it now. Finds Shaw. Shaw coming in off the left flank. Finally Scott McTominay again. We're in the 86th minute. Manchester United on the brink of elimination. 3-1 down, winning a free kick. McTominay has taken it, but from the wrong place. The referee says he wasn't ready, so Bruno Fernandes will spot it down. And he takes it short and square for McTominay. Out towards the right-hand side, where Wan-Bissaka just works it down the right-hand side of the penalty area for Ahmad. Back for Wan-Bissaka again, and out of McTominay. Out to Ahmad. Such an impression, certainly on his teammates since signing from Italian football. Maguire trying to take it away from Chowdhury, and then try to pirouette back inside. Chowdhury's pulled him back, and this is a free kick to Manchester United in Bruno Fernandes territory, and you feel that if they're going to be able to get back into this cup tie, this probably has to go in. Yeah,
I think Maguire actually did well, because he sort of miscontrolled it, got a little bit lucky as it went through Chowdhury's legs, and he couldn't quite see it and held on to Maguire just a fraction too long. I mean, look, we're talking 30 yards out, would you say, Jim? It's a fair old distance, but you can't really play this one into the area. This is going to have to be a Fernandes special.
No, I think 30's just about spot on. It's 2 cuts of grass outside the box. There's a 5-man wall. It's Fernandes! Oh, it's a good save as well. Really well executed free kick. And Schmeichel took a step across his line and flung himself towards the top right-hand corner and got a hand to steer it over the bar and out for a corner to Manchester United, which Fernandes will take. A right-footed in-swinging delivery. 3-1. to Leicester. Chowdhury heads it away, and then Pratt will be able to bring it further forward. Just for a moment, it's 3 against 2. Couldn't get the ball out from underneath his feet to play the pass. Shaw wins it back. Thoughts of a Leicester counter-attack come to nothing, and Manchester United bring it forward again. What a save from Schmeichel. A good save rather than a stunning one, but so crucial.
No, it was. Just tipped it onto the crossbar as well. It was a two-step dipping blaster from Fernandes. And he was heading right into the top corner, but like you said, it was a save he should make.
Indeed. Playing it forward. Back it goes for Leicester to Soinchu. Now to Johnny Evans. 90 seconds of the 90 minutes to go. That's for added time. Well, 4 would be my guess.
How good's Tielemans been, by the way? Every time it's played into him, under pressure or not, so calm, touch is magnificent, sees the pictures, plays it early, plays it simple. He's been brilliant.
And scored the go-ahead goal, which proved so significant to restore Leicester's advantage 7 minutes into the second half, and he has it again now, doing the simple things so well and effectively. Finding Chowdhury to Albrighton. Most of a Leicester persuasion, urging those in blue just to get the ball forward down towards the corner flag and waste some time. They haven't really been able to succeed in that regard. And the throw is taken quickly by Manchester United, only just inside their own half. 89 gone, Leicester 3, Manchester United 1. Bruno Fernandes. Just goes to his right-hand side for Victor Lindelof. Now to Ahmad to Wan-Bissaka, to Bruno Fernandes. Couldn't find Ahmad, and the break is on again. And it's Iheanacho. Heavy touch. Maguire stopped him in his tracks. Needed McTominay. They still haven't won it back. They will now, as Iheanacho played it forward. A poor ball for Chowdhury. Maguire wins it, plays it through the midfield. Great sliding challenge from Ndidi to nick it away from Bruno Fernandes. Soinchu then plays it back to Castagna. Back to his goalkeeper under pressure from Cavani, and Schmeichel, the epitome of calm, just side-foots it out of the area for Johnny Evans. A lovely turn from him, gets it away from Martial and finds Manchester United territory. Harry Maguire is there, winning it back for United. 3-1. How many extra minutes? 4. And we're into stoppage time now, and he's going to be very late and very dramatic if Leicester blow it from here. Shaw through the midfield for the yellow-booted McTominay. 3-1 to the Foxes. To Martial. Now put out by Albrighton. And in fact, a free kick given against him. McTominay taking it quickly, finding Bruno Fernandes. Now to Lindelof. Lindelof to the diminutive Ahmad, the smallest player on the pitch, one of the liveliest. Finding Ahmad. Back from him to Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes working it forward. Wan-Bissaka's ball in behind Ahmad, straight out of play, and Leicester are going to get the job done.
They are. That third goal, the energy that Manchester United had with that quadruple substitution, you could feel it, you could see the wave of Manchester United energy trying to get that equaliser, and that goal, Iheanacho's second goal, a poor bit of defending and a lovely cheeky header at the back post. It's just taken that edge off Manchester United, and Leicester have been pretty comfortable. It's not as if there's suddenly been loads of chances. They've defended very, very well today, Leicester.
Shaw playing it forward. Knocked away by Castagna. Out to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Back from him to Mason Green with the score of the United goal. Clipped inside the box. Martial going up for it, and Schmeichel diving to his right. Again makes a comfortable save down by the foot of his post. And will be able to waste a few more seconds. And only 2.5 minutes of stoppage time to go.
You just don't see a goal coming from a floated cross into the box. You don't see a Martial, you don't see a Cavani scoring with a floated cross. Maybe one that's whipped in with pace, that's flashing across the box, but the floaty one, like Green just put in there, they're not really going to particularly win the header and put the power on the opportunity.
United work it forward again. Castagna with a defensive header. Schmeichel controls it. His penalty area, little cushion tap. Back inside the box. Picks it up. Runs from the left-hand side of the penalty area out to the right. Finds. And we've only got 90 seconds to go. Play forward by Evans for Chowdhury. Knocked away though by Victor Lindelof. McTominay plays it forward straight to Tielemans. Tielemans to Ndidi. Out towards Castagna. Manchester United know that their fate has been cemented now, and Leicester are going to go through. Evans to Fofana. Chowdhury in this attacking midfield position made a run forward for him. Shaw caught Wesley Fofana. Tielemans just having a word with the referee who played the advantage. It might have been better to pull it back under the circumstances to give Leicester a free kick. Back he goes for Ndidi.
Just slowing it down to a walking pace now. Manchester United's energy pressing has gone. There'll be questions asked, there's no doubt, about the starting lineup for Manchester United with a international break coming up. What's more important to the club? I know that players are tired, but still questions will be asked in terms of the team selection, because you saw the difference when they made them substitutions and the quality that they had then on the pitch.
Brendan Rodgers stands, arms folded across his chest, looking up, surveying the clock, which he can't actually see. It just says 90 minutes plus 4, but there are only 30 seconds to go. Iheanacho, who's been excellent again today, not played in by Pratt. Manchester United win it back with Bruno Fernandes. Finding Cavani able to turn, lays it back for Scott McTominay again, rolled down the inside right channel for Ahmad. Has he been fouled? Referee says that the free kick has gone the other way. There'll be no time to take it. Well, they've waited 39 years for a place in the FA Cup semi-final. That long wait is over for Leicester City, who make it through to the last 4. Beaten at this stage by Wycombe, by Blackburn, by Chelsea again and again. But this time, Leicester get the job done, seeing off Manchester United, and deservedly so, with 2 Kelechi Iheanacho goals and a pick of the bunch from Yuri Tielemans. Manchester United's hopes of avoiding a 4th barren season now dependent on the Europa League. Manchester United well beaten today, made changes, it didn't come off. Leicester the better team, thoroughly deserving this. And this is a season that sees them through to the last 4 of the FA Cup and could well see them finish in the top 4 of the Premier League. What a day for Brendan Rodgers' 100th game in charge of the club. Leicester through to play outside of Southampton in the FA Cup semi-finals, having seen off Manchester United by 3 goals to 1.